What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So I just watched Showtime's final episode of Mayweather vs. Canelo, All Access, episode 4, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think after seeing the last two Mayweather All Accesses, um, it really holds its own against HBO's 24/7, especially considering the fact that we haven't really seen an HBO 24/7 since I think Nonito Donaire and Rigondeaux, or before that, maybe Chavez and Sergio Martinez, Chavez Jr. So All Access definitely pumping me up for the fight, keeping me ready. In addition to that, today they had like the final weigh-in, or excuse me, the final press conference. So that's the last face-off before the actual weigh-in, and then it's the fight. So really looking forward to this fight card. Again, from top to bottom, it's really stacked. As far as All Access is concerned, I really liked how they got Shane Mosley's opinion because he's fought both fighters. They showed clips of Mayweather versus Mosley. As we all know, Mosley landed a big shot in the second round, and he had Mayweather hurt more than once in the second round, and it looked like Mayweather was on his last legs. He didn't look like his legs were doing good, and it looked like Mosley could get him out of there. And the crazy thing is, people tend to forget. People are like, "Oh, Mosley's washed up," because they look at Mosley now and see subpar performances like his draw with Sergio Mora. Pacquiao knocked him down. Canelo dominated him, and decent performance against Pablo Cesar Cano, but he definitely looks like a shell of his former self. People forget at the time when Mayweather fought him, he was off of a fight win that a lot of people didn't give him credit for and didn't expect him to win, and that was against Antonio Margarito, and he did it in a destructive fashion. He destroyed a fighter who's known for having a granite chin. I mean, Pacquiao whooped Margarito as well, but Margarito looked better. He had landed some body shots. He just looked like he was outmatched by Pacquiao's speed, plus Pacquiao's power started to um, add up, and it fucked up his orbital eye, and the rest is history. But Margarito, nonetheless, he's a fighter who's relentless. He applies constant pressure, and he has a chin, and Mosley stopped him. So that was one of the career highlights for Shane Mosley in recent memory. And Mayweather fought him at the very next fight, so he did get hurt. And to me, that was impressive that Mosley was able to do that. But I'm more impressed by Floyd Mayweather. You can call me a Flomo, whatever you want to say, but I'm more impressed with Mayweather because he won the fight, and two, he was able to bounce back. Mosley had his man hurt drastically, but he couldn't pull the trigger. He couldn't finish the job. So that's like Sergio Martinez versus Chavez Jr. Yeah, it was impressive that Chavez Jr. rallied late in the 12th and had Sergio hurt, but he didn't finish it, and he went on to lose the fight. So again, I give more props to the fighter who was able to weather that storm of being hurt and go on to win the fight and convincingly win the fight. So to me, it shows how much I don't know, just what level Mayweather's really on to get hurt in the second round and then to go on to win every single round after. Something hard to do. You look at other fights, and when the fighter gets hurt, it's they don't just go on to dominate. There's tons of fights. Even Timothy Bradley, Ruslan Provodnikov, he won that fight, in my opinion, but he didn't dominate. He didn't get hurt in rounds 1 and 2 and then just go on and dominate. He was hurt again in the 6th. He had to take a knee in the 12th, and it was a competitive fight. It looked like he was getting hurt. So again, I think it shows what level Mayweather's on. Back to the All Access. One of the downsides for Canelo is he looked really bothered just when they were showing him about, I guess, the catch weight, and he was like, "Oh, he can't dish it out if he's not willing to take it." Talking about how the both camps are going back and forth about who started the catch weight and all that, and he's calling us idiots, and it looks like Canelo was frustrated. That's not a good sign, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Canelo typically seems very reserved, very mature for his age, and very calm, cool, calm, and collected. So to see him irritated, not that he's not human, but sometimes that's part of the Mayweather plan. He gets under these fighters' skin. Robert Guerrero, he had Robert Guerrero's dad calling him, "He's a woman beater," like, and going crazy and stuff. And that's kind of part of the mental game. He frustrates you outside of the ring first, and then he gets you in the ring, and then he frustrates you in, and then before you know it, the final bell is ringing or whatever the situation is, and you've lost the fight. So We'll see how Canelo responds to that adversity, but he looked frustrated, which is something that I'm really not used to seeing from Canelo. I usually see a very chill, cool, calm, and collected, and very mature, stoic, almost robotic Canelo. So the fact that he was that bothered by back and forth banter between the camps, to me, that's not a good sign, because you don't want Mayweather to get under your skin mentally. Um, Other than that, like I said, it was a good show. They also showed Mayweather. He does like annual parties, like barbecues. They showed some footage from that. Adrian Broner was in a couple clips, and he's looking fat. So I'm gonna save that for a separate video. I'm gonna make a separate video on that. He also did Mayweather did all black party, and there were some bad bitches there, and seeing Floyd Sr. dancing. So it looked like they're having a good time, just preparing for the fight. Canelo says he's ready. They showed Canelo weighing in. They showed Canelo being visited by director Peter Berg. If you don't know him, he did The Kingdom with I think Jessica Biel's in it and Jamie Foxx. Great movie if you haven't seen that. Peter Berg, he's an actor turned director, and he's made some pretty solid movies. He also did a documentary, I believe, on Freddie Roach. So if you're up to boxing, or if you're up on your boxing and you like documentaries, check that out. And like I said, I'm ready for the fight. They had the last kind of face off before the weigh-in. I'm ready for this fight. That was a very intense face off to me. Both fighters look ready. Canelo doesn't look malnourished or whatever people were talking about. He looks pretty ripped. He looks ready and willing to go. Floyd Mayweather's always in good shape as well. So two fighters are always in good shape, and we'll see who's victorious September 14th. As far as All Access Episode 4, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, it definitely rivals 24/7 to me, especially since we haven't seen a recent 24/7 or a compelling one. I like Canelo. I like Mayweather. And may the best man win September 14th. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. What do you think of this fight? On a side note, one other thing that I would like to say is I liked how they shed some light on Danny Garcia and Lucas Matisse. This is a fight that all boxing fans should be given a round of applause for, because this is a tough fight for both of them, and neither of them had to take the fight. And there's so many fights in the 140-pound division that were supposed to be made. Amir Khan said he was willing to fight Lucas Matisse. Now he's moving up to 147. Brandon Rios has his promotional issues with Top Rank. I want to see Broner and Bam Bam Rios, or Broner and Danny Garcia or Lucas Matisse. Brandon Rios had unfavorable things to say about Danny Garcia. Either way, none of those fights got made. And this is a fight that did get made. So props to both those fighters. I'm glad All Access spent some time talking about that, because that's making this a hell of a card. Canelo and Mayweather, I'd already be happy with that, and the Ishe Smith and Carlos Molina fight. But Danny Garcia and Lucas Matisse, that's its own pay-per-view damn near. They could have stacked that with a Keith Thurman versus whoever and had that, and I would really pay pay-per-view for it. So it's not too often we get these types of fights loaded like this. So let me know what you think of All Access. What do you think of Showtime versus HBO? What do you think of September 14th? Where will you be watching the fight? Leave a comment. Let me know. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next videos, Ego signing off.